Have you ever been put in the friend zone with a guy that you liked?
My heart hurts.
I feel like a lot of guys are going to watch this episode to try and study how to date you.
Oh God!
I feel like they're going to watch this
If you
episode.
guys figure out how to date me, let me know, because
She doesn't even know. She doesn't know herself. That's hilarious.
I don't even know. I'm telling you, like, I have so many guy friends, and I have never crossed the line with like my coworkers.
No, not that you've tried.
friends.
Not that you've crossed the line. Have they tried it with you?
My friends, no.
I don't believe that. Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, on this channel, we like to talk about all things dating and relationships and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of person and relationship we want. So without further ado, please welcome Janette to the show. Welcome.
Hi guys. Hi Kid. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you and your energy. How are you doing today?
I am doing very great. It's a sunny day in London, which means it's always good.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So I want us to jump straight in. So tell us your age or your age range, asking a lady her age. And one thing a guy should know about you if he was going to take you on a date.
My age, I'm in my 30s. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. 30s,
something that he needs to know about me. I'm Mexican, born and raised, which means my values are very traditional.
Interesting. So interesting point to say, right?
Yes.
So obviously being in London, somewhere like London, like New York, LA, those places, how does that line up with in kind of the dating scene there with your kind of values?
Oh gosh. So I was born and raised in Mexico, but then I moved to Chicago for university, and I've been there for many years, and now in London for 2 years.
Okay.
So I had to adapt to how Americans date over there, which was really hard. And now that I'm in London, if I thought people over there were open, here is like the culture here when they date is just crazy.
Like more open here or less?
More open.
Really?
And I feel like it's because Chicago, it's a big city, but here it's bigger and it's so fast paced that people don't really care about dating. They're more into like business. What can you do for me? So they kind of do their dating in that aspect.
Yes.
And it puts me up. And then I'm trying to stay like true to my values and be like, well, no, like you have to like pick me up and this and that. And he's like, no. Like no one's going to pick you up here. I'm like, but why not? Like, is that like such a terrible thing to ask for? Like you can go and take me to get pizza. I'm not asking you for a Michelin star restaurant. I'm just asking you to pick me up. Doesn't matter where we go.
Interesting. So you kind of feel that here the dating seems a bit more transactional because that's how they deal with business, right?
Extremely. Yes.
Right.
And it's so sad that it makes me not want to date anymore.
Well, I mean, you know, I think in a major city, yeah, sure, it's definitely more kind of open in that sense. Interesting. Wanting a guy to pick you up, is that a deal breaker for you?
It's not a deal breaker, but I do remember it.
What do you mean?
I mean, you know, like when you're planning for a second date, you're like, okay, what the pros and cons, and is it worth it or not?
Right.
And I just like remember it. So it's not a deal breaker, but I don't like it. Let's just say that.
So if he didn't pick you up, right, like you met at the venue, but then you had a really great time.
Yes.
Would that still play a factor, even though you might have had a really great time?
I want to say no.
Yeah, you can say yeah. Be honest.
haven't been on a lot of second dates, so I'm just going to say no.
Are you quite picky in that sense?
I don't like the word picky, but I am extremely particular.
It's just another way to say she's picky, guys.
I'm particular.
Particularly about what? But I guess if you're having a lot of first dates, so it means you must be at least quite open to some degree. Is that true?
What do you mean?
So like you said that you've not been on many second dates, but you've been on, well, you didn't say many first dates, but I'm guessing you've been on first dates. Right. So I guess are you quite open in who you would be open to connecting with? And then is it that you're just very particular about who you connect with?
No, I'm very selective also. The thing is that I am so friendly that yes, I do talk to everyone and I do say hi to everyone.
Yes.
And I feel like, because in Mexico, we're so warm and like welcoming.
Sure.
And here, if I go and say hi to you that I don't know you, or if I didn't know you in the streets, people think that I'm
Hitting on them.
immediately like flirting or that I'm being forward. I'm like, no, I'm new to London. I want to be friends. So I will be open and going out as friends.
But you wouldn't expect him to pick you up though?
No.
Okay, cool.
But I already have that mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
It's complicated, trust me.
I think it's one of those things where I'm just calling a spade. If you're a really attractive woman, it is very difficult to be friends with guys and be friendly with guys with them thinking that there's some kind of chance there. Because, well, I guess if he's attracted to you and then you're really friendly, so i.e. he likes who you are, he's going to want at least to be able to explore that. Like he's going to be interested in that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, you can't, have you just found that here or have you found that before in terms of being friends with guys?
I think mostly here, because when I lived in Chicago, I would say that because I move extremely slow too. I'm so Mexican. It's just
when you say you move slow, what do you mean?
I move so slow. I need like 3-4 days before the first kiss, and like some people think that I'm immediately not interested just because I say like no kiss, and apparently here everyone wants to kiss, even if it's a coffee date. They expect to kiss.
Listen, people here are sleeping together on the first date.
I just can't.
Yeah,
it gives you anxiety. Know that I'm gonna go on a first date and they expect me to like kiss them at the end of the date.
Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be any expectations, but I think if they'll go, oh, if it went really well, there's chemistry, I guess a guy's going to try it. There's nothing wrong with him trying it as long as he respects your boundary. If you're like, hey, I'm just not ready to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then if I say no, even though like I had a great time and I like him, and if I say no, he's like, oh, well, you're not interested. And I'm like,
I would say that too.
Can we wait? And they just, nope. They move on to the next one, which I mean, it's so transactional instead of like trying to see what else is there.
Shall I tell you what it is? I hear that. I get how it comes across as being transactional, but I think guys have had the experience of a girl just using him for like going out and for his attention.
Right.
So then it's kind of like, okay, if he's like, if I've picked you up and I've taken you to this nice restaurant and then we went and did this, I'm investing like my time, I'm investing money, etc. So I've done all this. You feel good, you feel great, you feel considered. And he's like, not that he should expect it, but he's like, okay, is there going to be a level of reciprocation? Right?
Right.
And if there isn't a level of reciprocation, not all the time, because obviously, like you said, you're an example where you just move at a slower pace compared to most people. And so, but I think most guys' experience is that if it seems slow, it's just because she's not interested. Because the same girl that will tell him like, yeah, I'm not interested, there'll be another guy that she'll just kind of be sleeping with casually.
Yeah, but that's sad. I mean, what if you go on a date with a girl and you really like her, but she's not ready to kiss you? You like immediately said, okay, well, she's not interested. Even though like you really like her, she just doesn't want.
I hear that,
she
but
wants
then,
to wait.
But how would you know if you really like her after meeting her once? You can be like, I really liked the date. We had a great time. But you don't really know who she is.
No, but you have like, you know the chemistry. Like I've been on dates where it's like, okay, you're nice, you're a good guy. But I don't see me getting close to you. And then there's other dates you feel the chemistry. You're like, oh, okay, he's cute and his brain is nice.
Okay, so what's the difference for you? The end of a date where you didn't really feel the chemistry. He was a nice guy, but you didn't feel it. And then the guy where you felt it, but also you're just reserving yourself for something down the line.
How do I end the date?
Yeah, like what's the difference? Yeah.
I'm so awkward.
Go on.
You don't want to be there. If I don't like him, it just turns completely awkward. Like I could be so good during the whole day because I'm so friendly and bubbly and I can talk for hours.
Yes.
But then the date's about to end. I know in my mind that, okay, it's ending. They expect this. And then I get so anxious because I know they're expecting a kiss. But there's zero chemistry. I don't like him. I don't even know. Like, it's giving me anxiety just think of what I do. I'm just so awkward. I just literally say like, bye and probably run away.
The reason I'm asking is because you're like, for you.
Do I need to give them a little sign? I see what you mean.
Well, because the thing is for you, right? Whether you like a guy and there's chemistry or whether you don't, your response at the end of the day is the same.
Well, I'm more awkward if I don't like them at the end.
But if he doesn't,
Even though I've been so good the whole date,
yeah.
I just instantly turn awkward because my brain knows that that's what's happening next.
But wouldn't you turn awkward with the guy you do like who's going to try and kiss you anyway? Because you also know that too.
Yes.
So you turn awkward anyway.
But if I like him,
yeah,
I kind of make a joke. So I still like keep it light.
I feel like a lot of guys are going to watch this episode to try and study how to date you.
Oh God!
I feel like they're going to watch this episode.
If you guys figure out how to date me, let me know because
she doesn't even know. She doesn't know herself.
Know.
That's hilarious.
I don't even know.
That is so funny. So like, have you been in a relationship before?
Yes, I have always been in long-term relationships. So I'm amazing girlfriend dating.
Okay.
Oh, amazing in being in a relationship, but a dating, I don't know how people do it.
I mean, the world has changed.
The world has changed.
The world has changed. So previously, let's say with your last relationship, how did it go exactly how you described that you liked it in terms of he picked you up very much so, and you kind of waited it out in terms of really took your time on the physical side? Like how was that?
Yeah, I feel like I always like picked them right, so they always been genuinely. It's just that if I don't kiss them, they just immediately think I don't like them. But they're still gentlemen. They lose interest. So with my last ex, I did explain to him like, hey, I am interested. I just move slowly. And he was okay with it. But now if I were to say that to someone else, they say like, that's bullshit. You're just trying to be nice, but you're not interested. Which has happened. I'm like, no, I am interested. And they're like, it's okay.
So question, have you ever said that to a guy where you were just being nice because you weren't actually interested?
No.
Okay. Would you tell him up front?
That I'm not interested?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Because I have done that once. I went on a date with a really, really nice guy. There was zero chemistry, but he was a great guy that I wanted to keep as a friend.
Yeah, right.
And I told him, he's the only guy that I say like, hey, there's no chemistry, nothing. His ego got so hurt. Literally, this was just like a one date. I didn't even kiss the guy.
Yeah.
He went psychotic, like messaging me all these things. And I'm like, whoa, like, how does this happen? I just am not interested. So no, I don't tell the guys that I'm not interested, even though I know I should, because it's just nice to like know where you stand. But some egos get hurt and some responses are not nice.
Yeah, no, very, very true. It's interesting because I'll be honest.
Yes, tell me.
I don't think. Was he a very attractive guy?
Which one?
The guy you were talking about who kind of went psycho?
With the ego?
Yes. Was he like quite attractive? Maybe he was quite successful. Johnny, was he like a desirable guy?
I mean, he was okay attractive. So attractiveness is like everyone has different like
subjective.
Yes.
To some degree, that's true. Yep.
I mean, he was okay looking. He was successful. He was very friendly. And the thing is that my friend set us up together. He was not a random person.
Okay.
So you will think that because we have someone in common, you will just be a nicer person.
Sure, you probably connect more closely. Yeah. Basically, is he the kind of guy that you imagine would get a lot of attention from women, essentially?
Yes.
Okay. So he probably wasn't used to rejection.
No, he was not. His ego got so hurt. And I have a lot of guy friends. I always been in the middle of guy friends. I have a brother. I always had worked with men all my life. So I am surrounded by men. So I know how to talk to men without crossing the line. So that's why I'm comfortable having men when I meet them.
Yes.
And I thought he was going to be one of those like people that I kept, but
when you said you were going to be a friend.
Yeah.
I would not be friends with a girl I went on a date with.
Why?
Because if I went on a date with her, that means I find her attractive. And so if I find her attractive, and then if we're going to be friends, that means I like who she is. I'm going to naturally want more. Why would I put myself in that position?
Yeah, I have never dated a friend. And I literally have so many guy friends.
Why not?
Because I know too much.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I have a really good friend and he's really watching. And I tell him this. I'm like, you and I could never date because I know too much of your relationships. He's like, fair enough. We're just going to be friends forever.
As in you know too much dirt of his
relationships.
Okay. As in how
and
he
what
is
he likes and what he doesn't like, his everything.
Okay. I'm going to ask, has he ever tried it with you?
No.
Really?
I'm telling you, like, I have so many guy friends and I have never crossed the line with like my coworkers.
No, not that you've tried.
Friends.
Not that you've crossed the line. Have they tried it with you?
My friends, no.
I don't believe that.
I am so.
I don't believe you.
Forward. Like the thing is, like when I like someone, they know it if they're my friends, and I will tell them like the guys that I'm dating, and they know me more. It's not a random guy that I just went on a date that I'm just like, oh, trying to be nice and not say that I don't like him. Like my friends know if I like someone. And
as in, because you would tell your friends or you would tell the guy that you like?
Yeah. So I'd say like, you're my friend for like months and you already know how I think. Mm-hmm. Like you already know, you would know if I have interest in you because you know how I act towards the person that I like.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but that doesn't stop guys from trying though. They might go, oh, okay, maybe I can get her to be interested in me and then we can have this thing.
No, I haven't had that.
I don't know if you just haven't noticed or if you know, but you're just kind of denying it because it could be an awkward thing.
I would say, I'm literally thinking like the back of my head and I have so many guy friends and I'm like, no.
Wow.
First of all, because they've been my friends when I had my ex-boyfriend or I was engaged to, like, they have been through, like, the whole time. Yeah. And they know the whole story, and I know their relationships. And most of them are also, like, married in relationships.
Oh, okay. If they're taken.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I travel, like, with one of my coworkers. He's married. Like, we literally, like, we're best friends. We talk about everything.
Nice.
But there will never be a line cross.
Have you ever been put in the friend zone with a guy that you liked?
Yes.
Have you?
Recently. Only one time in my life and it hurts. Now I understand the ego hurts.
So, now I get it with all those guys for the past 35 years.
It hurts.
So what happened with that? What happened?
My heart hurts. So how do I say this?
Say how it is.
I had a crush on this guy from the gym. I like him. I feel like everybody knows that I like him because people know if I like someone, like I am
You're
so
really
obvious.
I get it.
I am so obvious.
Yeah.
And he just put me on the friend zone. He's like, "No, Janette,
did you approach him?
No.
Okay, so like, what happened? What encouraged him to be like, Janette, you're a great girl, but this is just a friendship for me?
How do I say this? Let's say we met a while back, right?
Yeah.
And okay, this is too much information.
You don't have to say his name. You don't have to say anyone's name.
So I thought that we liked each other.
Okay.
Apparently, it was only one way.
Okay.
So I told him, like, what is all this flirting going on? And he's like, no, I'm not flirting. I'm like, yes, you are. Like, I cannot be making this up. I know women are delusional, but I mean, this is like borderline. Like, I'm not imagining this. And he's like, yeah, Janette, you're imagining. I'm like, no way. Like, I show up to the gym every day. You come and hug me and kiss me. And it's not just like one little hug. It's like 3 times. Like, come on. Like, you know when you're being flirted with. But apparently it was just all in my head. And he said like, no, did
you get interested in him because of how he was with you? Or was it that you were already interested and he was doing all these things?
Now I'm realizing that this is in video and people are going to see it. No, I like his heart. Okay. So because I move so slow and the fact that I saw him every day at this place, like it made me get attached to him slowly. Whereas like when you go on a date and they just like, okay, you're not interested, then you don't see them again. Yeah, but because I saw this person over and over and over, I feel like I got to know little and little more about him, and I really like his heart.
That's really nice.
And
that's really sweet.
Yeah, but it was not meant to be.
Damn. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. You
Yeah,
win some, you lose some.
it's okay. The universe knows I'm ready.
Yeah.
Send him to me. No, not him, but send me my person.
She's ready for her person. What did you want to bring to
person.
the conversation today? You had a few things you wanted to ask or chat about.
Well, let me like fix my heart a little bit.
I know, sorry. I kind of put her heart through the ringer a little bit.
I know. We're talking
Reminiscing.
a lot about dating, which I've been in London for 2 years, and dating has been so interesting to me. And the dating apps, I just feel like they don't work anymore. So I wanted to come up with a new idea of making dating easier.
Okay.
And I started a new company that it's dating with an NFC bracelet, which NFC is near field communication. I don't know if you know what that is. Like your card, when you pay with your phone, that's NFC.
Okay.
So this little bracelet has an NFC chip already in there.
Okay.
So let's say like someone comes and approach me in the streets and they're like, hey, Janette, or they don't know me. Hey, what's your number? I'm like, well, I don't know anything about you. Why would I give you my phone number? Instead, give my dating profile. So you tap it, you get my dating profile. I get your dating profile. I see your age, what do you do for work, whether you're divorced, do you have kids, all these important things that we like to know.
Okay.
And if I like it, I approve and you get my phone number. If I don't like it, it disappears and nothing happened.
Oh, so it's almost like another way for guys, another avenue for men to approach women.
Yes.
Oh, I guess women can approach men too.
Of course, it's both ways. So the thing is, like, I was on the dating apps and they were just not working for me. Like, same thing. I'd respond one message and then I don't respond again, which is terrible. Like, how am I going to meet someone if I'm not responding to the apps?
Sure.
So I'm like, I'm just going to go to the bar and meet someone in real life. So I go to the bar, I dress up, and no one's approaching me. I'm like,
in this country?
In this country.
Yeah, no one's approaching you.
No one approaches anyone.
Nope.
So I'm like, how are people supposed to meet anyone? So the bracelet tells you, 1, that you're single, 2, that I want to be approached, and 3, you tap it and it gives you the data that you're so used from the dating apps, but you already met the person, so you know that it's not a catfish. It's like, it's your face and there's chemistry. I just want to know the stats, like, are you divorced? Do you have kids? What do you do for work? But I cannot ask you all these things because it's not socially acceptable.
Interesting.
So I'm just giving you access to the data without being awkward.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I think that's a really fun idea.
Thank you.
Also, though, I know you're like, oh, wearing the bracelet is like, oh, I want to be approached.
Yes.
But, and tell me what you think, I think for women, they only want to be approached by the guys that they want.
Yes.
So the bracelet more is saying I'm single, but that doesn't necessarily give the approach a green light. To every guy,
exactly.
It depends on the guy, right? So yeah, like, what do you think about that?
No, that's great because, I mean, that has happened to me many times that I get approached and I'm like, hey, what's your number? And they're like, oh, do I want to give you my number now? But then I still want to be nice. So yes, the bracelet with women that want to be approached by guys that they want, and then the guys that they don't want, we usually say that we have a boyfriend, right? So go away. We cannot say that anymore.
This, you can't say that.
We cannot say that anymore. So that's why you tap it, and you keep tapping over the night. You tap probably 5 people. You go home and you see this person, and you already know you don't want to give them your phone number, so you just disapprove and it deletes. So you don't have to be awkwardly saying like, no, I have a boyfriend. No, I don't want to give you my number. Just be polite. Say like, sure, tap it, but then they don't get your info.
Interesting.
And they don't know.
Yeah, and then they don't know. So would you approach a guy then if this is your company, right? If he was wearing one of your bracelets and you're like, oh, he looks really cool. I mean, you said like you went to a bar, right? No one approached you.
Yes, I would.
Nice.
So, I mean, there has been times where I go to the bar and I know, even though like I'm Mexican and I'm used to like being approached and courted and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I know that in London it's not like that. And me trying to be part of how people date here or adopt.
Yes.
I try to say hi to people, but then at the same time, like I'm so used to like all the stats that the dating app are giving me.
Or the stats, what do you mean?
Like everything, like your horoscope, like all this important thing.
I see.
This doesn't have a horoscope, but I mean important things, you know, like how old you are. So there could be like, for you, let's say like there's a girl sitting at the bar. She's so pretty. You don't know how old she is. You don't know if she's divorced, but you cannot go and say like, hey, you're pretty. Are you under 25? Because apparently here people only date under 25. I don't know why.
What? Who said that?
I've heard this so many times.
What, that guys only date girls under 25?
Yes. Thank you, Leonardo DiCaprio, for that.
That's crazy. I mean, Leo, yeah. We know Leo operates that way. But yeah, okay, carry on. So yeah.
But I mean, you want to know like these things about her, right? But you don't approach with those questions because it's a turnoff.
Right.
So for me, if I see a guy at the bar, yes, he's cute, he's with his friends, I'm gonna approach and say like, hey, I see you have the Connect bracelet. Can we connect later? So I tap it, we connect, I get the dating profile, and then I go and I continue with my friends, my night and everything.
Yeah.
Then I go home and I see like everything about him. And if I like it, then I approve it and I get his number and he gets my number.
Okay.
But that's the thing, because I want to know, like, what does he do for work? I want to know if he has kids. Like, those things are important. And we don't want to say that they are, but we know that they are. As women, we want to know all these things, but we just don't ask them. Like, if a guy comes and asks me for my number and I say like, oh, you're cute, but what do you do for work? You know, like, I cannot say that. Like, I want to give you my number, but what do you do for work?
How important is that for you?
So it's not just that question. I'm just like putting that as an example, because I know that's very important for a lot of women to know, like, what do they do for work, especially in London, because a lot of women here are very successful. So they want someone in their same...
on their level.
In that level.
Yeah,
right. So I know that that's important for them. But that's just an example. You can start with like, oh yeah, you're cute, but do you have kids? You know, like any question that's important for you.
Yeah.
You cannot start with those questions. Those are questions that you discuss in like the first or second date.
Yeah.
But you already give this person your number, and then you realize, okay, this was one of your deal breakers, and they're like block, 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 block. So instead of having to delete or block numbers, I give you all the data before you make a decision on whether you want to give them your phone number or not.
If you're loving this episode and these kinds of conversations, then I want to give you something. We recently launched the Kits Angels community. This is a sisterhood for women who are tired of what the dating scene has given them and are ready to take their love lives to the next level. It's a space for you as a woman to not be alone in your journey to love, where we learn, talk, and share our experiences as part of a strong sisterhood, with some leadership and guidance from yours truly, of course. Not to mention never before seen videos from me on how I've led dozens of women to meeting great men. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I'm giving you a month's membership completely complimentary on me. Just click the Kits Angels link below, and when you join the group, message me the code phrase Angels Podcast and I will pay for your membership. Now back to the episode.
Interesting. Sounds like a really fun idea. I'm wondering about like the questions, because I I think those things are important to know.
Yeah.
I think that some of those questions, I understand why women want to know. I think maybe there might be a couple of questions that maybe guys would want to know.
Yes.
As well.
Like, what's important for you? When you see a girl at the bar, what are the things that you're trying to guess before you approach her?
Well, personally, for me, emotional intelligence is very important. But I guess if you ask someone, are you emotionally intelligent, most people are going to be like, yeah, I am. But
yeah, my EQ is 50.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if she's attractive, then sure. Honestly, those are the two main things. Like, if I find her attractive and I know she's emotionally intelligent, I'd be open to taking her out, to be honest. I'm trying to think. I'll be honest, I don't have kids, so if she had kids, probably not compatible for me.
See, that's a deal breaker, but you don't want to ask her that immediately, because it makes you look like I don't want to say the word, but you want to know, but you don't want to ask her immediately.
That's so
but it's
true.
So important for you to know that.
Yeah, no, that is very true. So interesting. What made you create this?
Well, because I'm not approached at a bar. So
I was getting an approach, so I created a company and
being
system
approached.
where people can approach me.
No, I just
Bracelets only for men. Only for men. I'm the only female with the bracelet. All of you approach me, I will decide who I want.
No.
That's brilliant.
I feel like if I was frustrated with the situation, I feel like there's more people in the same situation that they're frustrated with the dating apps. Swiping, matching, never meeting up. And when you meet up, they're not who they say they are, or there's no chemistry.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make the whole dating easier. And let's go back to before the dating apps, where you meet someone in real life, you like them, and you ask them for their phone numbers. But because of social media and all the apps now, people are more introverted. So we cannot do that anymore. So I'm giving you access to all the data that you're used to from the dating apps, social media, and all that with one tap. You just need to like go out, see that person. You like them, then it's okay. I got your back. I'm giving you the data that you want. Just focus on the chemistry, which is the hardest thing.
Yeah, no, I get that. I guess, so would you have to verify the information that everyone says? Because like people can still lie on dating apps, right? Someone might be like, yeah, I don't have kids, but they've got 3. Or someone's like, yeah, I'm, I work in tech, and, really they're, I don't know, they work at the cinema. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like that is normal on every single dating app, or even in a CV. Your people lie on everything.
Yeah,
so
so
you
true.
cannot be 100% sure until you meet that person and get to know that person with a lot of time.
Yeah.
But we can verify at least their age is real. And I mean, at least that's real. Their job with LinkedIn. And I think like there's another dating app that does that. But everything else, no, it's just if you have the chemistry, we got the data.
Yeah.
But the rest has to like happen with dating.
Yeah.
And people need to go out and start dating again. Like people are so scared of dating, and I don't know why. Just go out. It's part of life. If your heart gets broken.
So
Mine was
true.
broken.
It was broken by the guy that she never dated.
No, let's not talk about him.
I love that. No, that sounds such a great idea. Let me ask you something. We're gonna take a shift here.
Yes.
What's a question you would ask most men?
What question do I ask most men?
No, would you ask most men? Like if you could ask men as a general species a question, maybe something you don't understand, something like, why do you do this? Or what does this mean? Like what's something you would ask men?
Okay, not a man that I'm dating or want to date. Just like
maybe want to
man
date. Yeah.
That I want to date. I would ask them if they have been in love before.
I'm
a hopeless romantic, in case you haven't like noticed that.
Okay. Why is that important to you?
That is important because I feel like nowadays with the whole attachment thing, like detachment and secure, and I don't know what the other is, I feel like a lot of people don't open their hearts to the possibility of falling in love. And I like to ask that question because if you have been in love before, you know how good it is and you're open to having it again.
Sure. I hear that. But then is there something where if he hasn't, you could be the first one? And that's exciting because, if you're the first person that he falls in love with, they usually say the first love is the deepest.
Yes.
Apparently.
Oh, yeah. I love my first love. I will always love him forever.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, yes, but Kit, let me remind you, I'm in my 30s.
Sure.
So my bracket of dating is 30, 40, right?
Okay.
So if you haven't been in love in your late 30s, 40,
oh, I see.
Then
you're like, why not?
Yeah, that means that you're not really. You don't want to be in love, or you have been hurt before, and that hurts me that you have been hurt before. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't let it happen. It's so nice. It's so beautiful, and it's part of living. We all have been hurt. You're not going to be the first one with a broken heart. Like, just let go.
Yeah. No, I get that. And that's part of our own inner work, right? We have to be able to heal, to forgive, and then let go and move on so that
I got too deep.
No, we love that. We love that, man. So I know, mentioned about being in your 30s. Is there any difference in dating in your 20s compared to your 30s? Have you noticed anything for you?
Oh gosh, my 20s, I had so much fun. And not fun with like dating. I always been in like relationships.
Yeah.
But I think you're just, you don't think too much of the future. So it's easier to fall in love because
When you're in your 20s, you mean?
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's cute and this and that. He doesn't have a job. It's fine. We're going to survive with love. In your 30s, you have a job and you have bills, and you know that love is not going to.
You're looking for someone to fill a position, an employment position. Show me the qualifications.
Yeah, I mean,
But 2 seconds ago, you're like, it's all about falling in love. And now you're like,
It
but tell me what
is.
your job is. Tell me what you can do. Tell me what you bring to the table.
well, exactly, because I mean,
At least she's
already-
honest. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, you already know where I live and what I do for work. So I do pretty well. So I'm not asking for someone to take care of me. I have never had anyone pay my bills. Never.
Sure.
And I was engaged before. I have never had anyone pay my bills before. But at the same time, I know what I like and what I pay for myself,
Sure.
that I need someone that can do the same.
For you, though?
No, for them. I used to pay for my ex's trips when I was in my 20s.
Okay.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like money doesn't matter when you're in your 20s.
Mm.
And I'm like, it's fine. We're going to make money together. But I ended up paying for a lot of things. And now I realize, like, no, it has to be at least equal.
Yeah, I mean, if you said you're quite traditional in that sense, then I guess that makes sense. I guess my question is, if you don't expect him to provide for you the lifestyle you provide for yourself,
Mhm.
why is it important that he's on the same lifestyle? Like, as
Great
you?
question. Great question. Because I want to have kids, and I assume he wants to have kids too, right?
Of course.
I'm going to be pregnant for 3 years. Who is going to...
What do you mean?
Okay, you're pregnant for like 9 months.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's not how human babies work, Janette.
This is how I explained to my mom.
I think you're an elephant, but you're pregnant for like 2 years.
When my mom asked me, like, when are you going to be pregnant? I'm like, I cannot stop drinking for 3 years. She's like, what? I'm like, you're pregnant for 9 months. You breastfeed for 6 months. Then you're pregnant again for another 6 months. And, you know,
Why are you pregnant again for that? Oh, if you have another child, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, so you're like, you want to whack it out.
I mean,
get 'em
that's
out.
just normal. If you're going to like have kids, you're going to have them within the same first 3 years or same 3 years.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, there's some age gaps, but I hear you.
Right.
That's what ideally
But
what
let's
you would
say
like.
exactly. So
Sure.
let's say you want 2 kids and you want them to have like 2 years difference.
Yes.
So you're going to be pregnant for 3 years. And who's going to like pay for the house?
I mean, he can. He just may not be the lifestyle that you're at.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, listen, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate because I understand, I get it, and very much operate in that sense.
Yeah.
But I'm asking for guys because I think guys, you know, we live in a day and age of equality.
Mm-hmm.
Women under the age of 30 actually out earn their male counterparts now. I think it's since
Yes.
2013. It's like the
Right.
first time it's ever happened. So women are killing it, right? You said it yourself, like,
Mhm.
you know, successful women, you're doing well in tech, etc. So guys are like, okay, so if you can do it for yourself and you are
Mhm.
able to bring this to the table,
Mhm.
why does it matter that I have to bring enough to cover for you?
Yeah.
Does
No,
that make sense?
you don't have to cover for me because I mean, I already pay for my house and I pay for this. But let's say I'm pregnant and I'm taking care of your kid, so I'm not working. Right?
I know, I agree. I'm laughing because I love it when you're like, I'm taking care of your kid. Well, it's your kid too, but
Well, yes, but I mean, but you know, like I'm not working. One of us is not going to work to take
Yeah.
care of the kid.
yeah, I hear you. I mean,
So I
it's an ideal for you.
I want to have the option because I do love working. I do enjoy working.
Yeah.
I do want to have the option to say I want to stay with my kid and
Sure.
breastfeed for 6 months.
Mm.
But if we know like we cannot pay for the house, that's not an option anymore.
Yeah, of course. I guess ultimately, as the woman,
Mhm.
if you're gonna take that step with a guy and build a future, yeah, you do have to look at his lifestyle, where he's at, and be like, okay, am I happy with that? Can I accept
Right.
that? And maybe that's what it is. Like, you're like, okay, you're so used to how you move and your lifestyle in that sense. You're like, I don't want anything less than this. And
Yeah.
so by choosing a man, you're kind of being like, that means I'll accept his lifestyle to that sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
I mean, and it's not necessarily the money. Like, I love someone that it's ambitious
Yes.
because the money will always come. I feel like it always comes. It's so easy.
Yeah, I guess it's ambition just means future success. Ambition means you don't
Yeah.
have to have it now, but it has to be in the
Yeah,
future.
just how you
Yeah.
mentioned, like nowadays women make more money than men in some cases.
Mm.
And that's fine as long, and you mentioned EQ. That's so important because, okay, that's fine if I'm like making more money than you. But if you're not bringing anything else to the table, like if we go to dinner and you're just telling me all the bad words you know in French, which has happened before.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you mean? He'll bring his personality, Janette. You know what I mean?
oh, he was amazing.
He's charming.
He
He's
was very
funny.
charming.
No, I get what you're saying. And if I'm being honest, this is a hard reality, a hard pill for many guys to swallow when they become an adult. Because many guys are told when they're younger that the girl of your dreams will choose you for who you are.
And we will. Because
No,
love,
not really.
yes, we will. Because I told you, like, I have always, except for one time, made more than my exes.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do that now.
I have.
But you wouldn't do it now.
Like today or last year. Because
Well-
last year I did it.
Yeah, but you said now you're like you wouldn't.
Like today-
you would choose someone at least on your level and above, right?
I will prefer not to.
Exactly. That's my point.
But you never know who you're going to fall in love with.
You're right. I think what I mean is that men learn
Mm-hmm.
that they only get the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
based on what he is, and then she falls for him based for who he is.
Yes.
But he has to get the opportunity first before she can fall for him.
Yes.
So a guy can be an amazing guy, but if you said, you're like, oh, but if he's not the kind of level that I'm looking for,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how amazing of a person he is,
Mhm.
you're not going to give him the opportunity for you to even then fall in love with him. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there is an element of, I think that's what I mean when I say that, you know, guys essentially have to learn that, yeah, there's a level of tangible value that they have to bring to the table to get
Mhm.
the opportunity with the woman
Mhm.
that they want. Do you know what I mean?
And there is so many different tangible values. Like someone, I have another friend, she's also developing her own app and she does very well. And we were talking about it, like she makes a lot more than her partner.
Mm.
And we're talking about, yes, money is not important because he's there for her when she comes from work tired. He messaged her like, he makes her feel secure.
Mm.
Like if they are not in the same city, she's never questioning what he's doing. So he's bringing her peace.
Yes.
So peace is so important
Very
both
true.
ways.
Yeah,
My dad told me
100%.
that one time about like dating like one of my exes, like, Janette, you need to bring peace to like
To a man's
anyone that you're
life, for
dating.
sure,
And I'm
yeah.
like, what are you talking about? I was in my 20s. Now I understand my dad is so smart and like it's true, but
That's
it's both
golden nugget he
ways.
gave
Like
you, yeah.
now I am not a jealous person. And it's because I always been very secure in my relationships.
Nice.
But I feel like if I'm not secure, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you not texting me? And that doesn't bring me peace. And I don't want to be with someone like that. So
Yeah, no, I hear that. And I'm the same. Like, I've never been really a jealous person. You know, I always assume if someone's with me, they're with me because I'm their
yes.
their top choice, right? And
Mhm.
if I stop being their top choice, then they will go and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things where the sooner we can accept things that aren't out of our control, that are out of our control, then the happier we'll be.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You brought some questions that you want to go through. Is there anything else you want to bring to conversation, or?
Some important questions. So what are the main things that you're looking for in woman when dating in London?
I'll say dating in general. So do you mean like guys or like what I think personally or what I think guys in general?
No, men dating women.
Okay.
Because like earlier we started with the whole like question of like London being very transactional and
Yes.
not people don't know what they're doing anymore. We don't know how to date.
Yeah,
So
sure.
what are your advice to making dating easier?
Yeah, I hear that. Okay, let's start with what guys will look for. Obviously, I don't speak for every single guy out there, but I think I
Just the
have
good ones.
I think I have a good idea of what guys would want. At least the men that women desire,
Mhm.
right?
Which are?
Guys who are intelligent, attractive, successful, they've got their stuff together, can provide a foundation and a frame for her to come into. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, first, yeah, she has to take care of herself, you know, like he wants to be attracted to her. And if he's a desirable guy, likely he'll be used to attracting and maybe dating, you know, high quality women. And part of how we treat our bodies is a reflection of our mind, our mindset, and how we treat ourselves.
Yes.
So that she takes care of herself. If he's quite, you know, if he's successful, like a go-getter, he's quite a masculine man. He's looking for a woman in her feminine, quite a feminine woman who is a place of peace for him, who is nurturing, who, you know, she does stroke the back of his head, you know, when he's working, or maybe he is working and she just brings him like a cup of tea. Like, well, my girlfriend, when she's here and I'm working, she'll just do that. Do you know what I mean? And personally for me, like I said, emotional intelligence, I find that very attractive. That's very important. And someone who brings, and this really makes a difference between a girl that he dates that turns more casual and a girl that he dates that will become more serious. A woman who brings value to his life outside of sex.
Right.
So I think sometimes many women can be like, oh, I'm spending time with him, we're having sex together. Why is that leading to commitment? And the reason that doesn't lead to commitment is because that's what every other woman does.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So it's not about what you're like with him when you're being intimate. It's all the things you do outside of the bedroom. So like, you know, maybe he has a dry cleaning errand to run. You'd be like, hey, let me just do that for you. Maybe, you know, when he gets back from the gym, breakfast is already made with his protein shake. You know, maybe, you know, that, you know, maybe it's a family member's, you know, birthday coming up or something, and you've already gone and got the gift because you're really good at choosing gifts.
So thoughtful.
Exactly. So value that she can add outside of the bedroom, outside of the sexual intimacy, that's what really makes a guy go, this is a woman I want to have a future with. Because spending time with someone who's nice and having sex with them because, you know, the chemistry is great, that's really easy.
Yeah.
That's really easy. So it's like, what is it about you? Like, how do you want to contribute to his life that makes him go, wow, this is a woman who wants to do this for me? Because I think guys, we know, I mean, we literally just said, right? We know we have to bring things to the table. Like, we know we have to add value.
We both do.
We both do.
And
exactly.
It's different levels.
Exactly. Does that make sense?
It does.
Does make sense.
So going on this topic of femininity and masculinity and high value men, high value women, this did not exist a year ago, 2 years ago. And I open Instagram, TikTok, and I'm literally bombarded by this. And it's all telling us like, don't approach the men and this and that. And I get it because that's my values and how I was raised. But now it's like everyone wants to be there and they don't understand why. But then I also heard the men's side and how like you're a high value man and you need to wait for a high value woman. The first time I heard that, I'm like, wow, like if we're being bombarded, they are being bombarded and they're telling, don't approach her because if she really likes you, she needs to approach you. And we're like, no, you're a princess. He needs to approach you. So nobody is approaching anyone.
No one's approaching. I hear you. Okay. So men and women both approach each other. But there's a masculine way to approach and a feminine way to approach. The masculine pursues, but the feminine invites, right? So, like, have you ever heard of dropping the handkerchief?
Yes.
You know what that is, right? Back in the day, you know, bunch of women together, handsome gentleman walks in, you know, this is like lady and gentleman time. She'll drop the handkerchief. She'll be like, oh, I like the look of him. She'll drop it. He'll pick it up and he'll be like, oh, you dropped this. And then their whole love story will start.
Yeah.
Right. And then when they're old and stuff, you know, they're talking about the kids like, oh, mom and dad, how did you meet? And he's like, yeah, well, you know, like there's this handkerchief on the floor and I picked it up and it was your mother's and I saw her and I was like, yep, she's the one. That's one I knew. And he, in his head, he chose her. But no, bro, she chose you.
Yes. I mean, it's been happening for so many years. Like there was the little fan too. Like if we open it, we're inviting you. So, and same for like the bracelet. Like, hey, I'm inviting you to come talk to me.
Yeah, 100%. So one thing that I, you know, with the women that I work with, because they do want guys to approach them, right? But they want the right guys to approach them.
Yes.
So there's something that we call choosing signals, right?
Smiling. I'm terrible at that.
Well, if you want a guy to approach you, right? Because here's
I try.
I hear you. But here's the thing. Like, if you walk into a bar, let's say you walk into a bar, right? And if you're an attractive woman, right? The truth is, like, 90% of guys in that establishment want to come and talk to you. But 89% of them don't feel they have the permission to. So you sending these signals is you giving him the permission to come and talk to you. So let's say, for example, you go out with your girlfriends and you're at a bar. And you see a guy you like the look of him, nice style, you like his energy, conducts himself well. First, you start with eye contact and you smile and you even give a wave.
No way.
And I know, now here's the thing. I know that sounds like a lot for a woman because generally speaking, women are very good at communicating indirectly. So you pick up on subtle cues naturally, right? That's why, like, if a guy comes and talks to you, you may not directly say you're not interested, but there'll be things you'll be doing that show you're not really making eye contact, your body language facing away from him, maybe you're not asking questions. Women will read that situation and be like, she's not interested. For a lot of guys, because men, we tend to communicate more directly. For a lot of guys, he'll be like, well, she's not told me she's not interested. So that means there's still an opportunity, right? But you are communicating to him just very indirectly, right? Through subtle cues. So you doing a wave feels a lot for you because you're so used to communicating subtly, especially if you sit on your feminine, right? But the reason you want to do this is because if you want to communicate something to him, you need to speak in his language.
Which is?
Be a bit more direct.
Oh, gosh.
So if you look at him, you smile and you just give a wave. Just give a wave, right?
It's so funny because I literally talk to everyone that I'm not interested. I will go into a room and talk to every single person. I have no problem. But as soon as I like someone, there's no waving, there's no eye contact, no nothing.
So here's the thing. For you, that's even more of a reason why you need to do that. Because the reason you need to do that is because if there's a guy in there and he notices that you are open and friendly with everybody but him, he's going to think that you're not interested in him for whatever reason.
That makes sense.
That you're not open to engaging with him, right? So you're with your girlfriends, eye contact, smile, you give him a wave, right? You've sent him that signal, okay? Once you've sent him those cues and signals, right? Now you need to separate yourself from the group.
Sorry.
Okay.
I just came from a safari and I got picture like little Pumbaa running around 100%. And the lion coming to get me.
100%. I mean, before, what I would say, even before sending him cues and signals, see if he's attracted to you. So that's getting in his peripheral. And as a woman, like, if a guy's looking at you, you can tell. Like, if you make eye contact, etc. So you see if he's attracted to you, like, walk across the room, ask your girlfriends, hey, does he look? If he finds you attractive, he will look. He will look.
Okay,
right?
I'll try it.
So he's attracted to you. Then you send the cues and signals. You look, smile, give a wave, right? Then you have to separate yourself from the group. And the reason you have to do that is because a guy approaching a group of women to speak to one woman, for him, like, you guys just look like a pack of wolves.
Yeah.
Right? It's extremely intimidating. And it's not just intimidating because he's approaching a group of human beings, but also because guys know if there's one friend in that group who just doesn't like him for whatever reason, she will sabotage that engagement. She will sabotage that interaction.
It happens. Right? So I go to the bathroom. Like, and these are the instances that I wish I smoked because it's so easy. Like, let me go and smoke. True. But
So you could go to the bathroom or you could go to the bar to order a drink. But you go to the side of the bar where you're by yourself and you give him the space to approach you. Now, if he's a man who is confident, has a level of intelligence, is with his wherewithal, and of course, does like to go after what he wants, which I assume is the kind of man that you're looking for.
Yes.
He's going to take that chance.
That's what I need. It's hard to find here.
I think it might be hard to find, but they are around. But the thing is with that kind of guy, and maybe I'm biased because of my circles, so I see how guys move, etc. With that kind of guy, he's not just going to approach a woman because she's attractive. He's not going to do that. He's going to approach a woman who gives him the cues that maybe there's an avenue there. That's where the intelligence comes in. Because I mean, if he's going to approach everyone who he found attractive, what if you're with, 5 of your girlfriends?
Yeah.
And a lot of time, birds of a feather flock together, right? So maybe you're all attractive. He's going to try it with all of you.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be like, no, which energy does matches me, and who's actually open to engaging with me?
I like that. I'm gonna give it a try.
Give it a try. Let me know.
I'm gonna give it a try because usually if I like them, I'm like, nope, don't look at them. Don't make eye contact.
It's so funny. If you like them, you like shut yourself down. But if you don't like them, you're like so open.
I am so friendly. Like with everyone, I can go and talk to them. So if my friend likes a guy,
Yep.
I'm the one that introduces them. Always.
Okay.
But
I hear
the other
that.
way around. No, but I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna drop the handkerchief.
Do it for sure. Let me ask you one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a son,
Mm-hmm.
what is something you would tell him about women to help him choose the right women for him? To help him choose a good woman.
Look for a partner and someone that it's fun. But a partner is very important because you don't, and my dad, like, he's so smart. He always gives me all this advice. When I was younger, I'm like, that doesn't matter. But now I get it. Like, you need a partner in every sense. Because you mentioned it's not just about sex. Sex will be good, but it's not going to be just that. You need a partner. Like when you have kids, are they still going to be someone that you can go and talk to? Like if someone gets sick, if you want to travel, can you have fun with this person outside of the bedroom?
Yeah, 100%. Choosing a partner. Completely agree. In every way. I love that. Listen, Janette, we're gonna wrap it there.
Yes.
But thank you for sharing your energy with us.
Yeah.
If people want to find you, where can they find you? And where can they find your company?
Yeah, so it's called Connect Real Dating. You can find the website connectrealdating.com or Instagram or TikTok connect.realdating. The app actually launches today. Excited.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can go and download it. It's in the App Store, Connect Real Dating. You download it, you get your bracelet, you create your profile and start matching with people.
We love that. Well, guys, you heard it here first. Stay safe with Kit. We appreciate you. So thank you for coming on.
Much.
We thank you for coming on. Guys, go show Janette all that love. Give her a follow. Give her a like. Check out that company. If you're single, then maybe this is something. Let's see, merchandise. If you're single, maybe this is something that you should delve into, especially if in a big city, because it's going to be popping around.
It is going to be. So we have a few events coming up in London. So we're going to have singles events, London, Chicago, New York, Miami, Dubai, everywhere. Guys, stay tuned.
We'll be there. We love that. Well, thank you for coming on. And guys, thank you for tuning in. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.